Belleville's such a big place. I'm like, actually, it's more like a small town. And to prove it, I'm like, it's really like 1 degree of separation when you just start talking to somebody and you realize how connected you are. Well, I get the privilege of introducing one of my former students. Seriously. So Adam and Kia and George were these 3 students when I was running the Haas Center at Stanford. Made an appointment, came in and seen me, and they were all excited. They had this big idea. Nicole, do you know how much medicine is just going for waste? Do you know how many poor people can't get access to medicine? Do you know how many elderly people are on, fixed incomes and can't get the medicine and people are just dumping it and we're gonna do something about it? And I'm like, okay, so let's talk about this. So you wanna start a nonprofit? Okay, so how are we gonna start thinking about financing, which I just asked you, how are you financing? It was one of the first questions I asked. So we went through all of this because that was my background, and that's what we do at the Haas Center. We foster their ideas, not shut them down and all the things that may not go right, but what is it going to take for them to get it up off the ground? So when I was told that I had to introduce the next speaker, this group that started Sirum, I could not believe it. I could not believe it. So you're about to see Kia Williams on video, and then Adam Kircher, who's one of her co-founders. Both were undergrads. Their third co-founder was in his PhD program at the time, George Wong, who's still here working in Palo Alto. But you are going to be blown away. All those years later, you graduated 2007? All those years later, I can't believe it. It's phenomenal. So enjoy.
I grew up in West Philadelphia, 1 generation out of poverty, but surrounded by it every day. It's difficult because I grew up 5 miles from here, but worlds away from this stage. It's difficult because I grew up around women like Maria. And I know the only thing that separates me from her is opportunity. And everyone needs the opportunity to stay healthy in order to do anything else. Go to school, get a job, help your family. So when I learned of the $5 billion of unused medicine that's going to waste in the United States every year, I knew I had to do something. So I started Sirum with my co-founders, George and Adam, to help level the playing field. It is unconscionable that we spend $3 trillion every year on healthcare. We spend $270 billion every year on prescription medicines alone, yet people a few miles down the street can't afford the medicines they need to stay healthy. Sirum uses technology to connect surplus medicine from places like nursing homes, pharmacies, and basically connect that to community clinics that serve low-income patients. Even with the Affordable Care Act, 50 million people in the United States can't afford the prescription drugs they need. Some are completely uninsured. Some have insurance, and they can't afford their meds because of things like high copays or high deductibles that for individuals can be $6,000 before your insurance kicks in. We basically make donating medicine as easy as recycling. And to date, we've actually donated $4.7 million of unused medicine that would have ended up in trashes, in our toilets, in medical waste incinerators. And we've gotten that's enough medicine for over 80,000 patients across 4 states. And there's only 5 people on our team. So we know that the work that we're doing is very scalable because of the technology we're using. Imagine a world where we take the $5 billion of unused medicine and get it to the 50 million people who need it. That's the world that Sirum is creating. I hope that you'll join us.
Sirum connects medicine, surplus unused medicine, to the patients who need it. I've always been insured. When I go to the pharmacy, it's a quick 5-minute drive, and I pay less than $20. But that is not most of America. A typical Sirum patient is on over 3 medications. They live far away from a pharmacy. They don't have a car. They might take a bus 40 minutes or more to get there. They're an hourly wage worker. They have to take off work to do that. They lose wages to make that commute. When they arrive, they pay a cash price many times higher than what you or I would pay. To make matters worse, prices vary so much between pharmacies that they often have to make that commute multiple times to multiple different pharmacies just in order to cobble together the best price for each of their medications. I'm going to get this right, I promise. Elaine is one of those patients. She does all of that work, and yet she still pays over $150 a month for her meds. She is literally faced with a choice every month: groceries, rent, or your health. Elaine shouldn't have to make that choice. No one should have to make that choice. Yet there are 50 million Elaines. That's 1 in 4 adults. You've all seen the news. It's in the headlines almost every single day. Crisis in prescription drug costs. So if you only remember one thing, remember the 1, 2, 3 of medicine access. 1, the number 1 reason for bankruptcy in the US is medical costs. 2, the US health system will have lost $2 million from people not adhering to their medicines by the time I finish this sentence. 3, by the end of my presentation, 3 people will have lost their lives because they're not taking the medications they need to stay healthy. Elaine doesn't deserve to die. She could be your neighbor, she could be your loved one, she could be you or you down on your luck. Every single person is affected by health. Health is a fundamental part of what makes us human. So look to the person to your left and the person to your right. Every single person here has been affected by a serious health issue, either directly or through a loved one. Think back when you or your family was affected. What were you thinking? How did you feel? I, myself, have never felt more scared. I have never felt more helpless. I realize that without my health, I have nothing. It doesn't have to be this way. There is a solution. This is Jinky Belaine, one of our beneficiaries. Sirum partnered with Santa Clara County to start Better Health Pharmacy. It's down in San Jose, just a few miles south of here. Jinky is ecstatic. I mean, just look at that smile. She just got her medications for free. In fact, anyone who walks into Better Health Pharmacy in San Jose gets their medications for absolutely nothing. Turns out, when we get surplus medications to the patients who need them, we can save patients $100 to $200 a month. That's more than food stamps. That's not just going to make Jinky happy, that makes the county happy too. Because when we're getting medications to people who wouldn't otherwise take them, we reduce hospitalization rates. In fact, we can reduce hospitalization rates by up to 42%. That saves the county and taxpayers like you a lot of money. We started in Better Health Pharmacy down in San Jose, but we've crossed the nation now. We moved into the Midwest and the Southeast where there's even greater need. We're in 23 communities, and we have helped donate enough medicine for over 450,000 prescriptions. And we're just getting started. This year, we're going to have donated $12 million of medicine. And I'm super excited to announce, I actually just flew in from Atlanta, because we just launched our very own mail order pharmacy. With it, we're on track to get to $100 million of medicine annually within the next few years. So let me end by taking a big step back from Sirum. In the spirit of the conference on empathy, I wanted to circle back to Kia's personal story. Kia grew up in poverty, surrounded by it every day, one generation out of it. She does this work because it is her lived experience. That is a powerful motivator. But that is not what motivates me. Unlike Kia, I have a privilege. In fact, I have a privilege that only less than 1% of the world has. I am an upper middle class, white, male in America. I didn't grow up one generation out of poverty. My mom's a professor. My grandfather's a chemical engineer. My mom helped put me through a private high school and then helped pay my tuition at Stanford and Harvard. I would be naive to think I'd be standing here before you if I had not been born with luck and privilege. Now, of course, I work hard. I've worked 16-hour days, 6 days a week for the past 15 years. I have taken risks, overcome setbacks, but so have all of you. I mean, that's life, and life is hard. But unlike Kia, I don't do this work because I have the lived experience. I haven't seen the effects on my family and friends. I do this work because I have the incredible privilege of being able to do this work. And so I ask you a candid question. If the luckiest 1% of people don't work hard to improve the world, who do we expect will? So I end with this thought. Acknowledging luck and privilege in our own lives does not make us weak. Acknowledging luck and privilege in our own lives does not make us less deserving. Acknowledging luck and privilege in our own lives makes us humble and strong. And the world needs all of us right now to be humble and strong. Thank you so much.